To say Twitch is inconsistent with bans can be an understatement. There are also some points to be made about individual streamers not following the terms of service. But how can you follow something if you don't even know? Hi, I'm Cozy2, Vtuber and Twitch partner, and today I'll be going over some of the recent happenings on Twitch regarding Vtuber Attire, how you can avoid getting a ban from breaking said TOS, and my thoughts on Twitch's inconsistencies. Let's get into it. So where do we start? Although moderation problems have been around since the start of the website, it'll be best to start at the most recent attire updates, since that's what's been the hot button topic. Early October, Twitch would update its community guidelines that would hope to clarify what it meant in terms of its attire policy, and more specifically, Vtuber Attire. The standard guideline basically says this: don't go live in your birthday suit, duh, but then it gets a bit more specific. Here is an illustrated example made by Kohaku Ace that, although isn't official, is widely accepted as an accurate portrayal. Starting off, everyone needs to hide any visible outlines of the genitals. Next, women presenting models need to cover the nipples and any underbust. Last point is that everyone needs to cover the hips to the bottom of the pelvis or buttocks. And all the things I just said need to be covered by a non-opaque way. That means you can't have see-through parts to the band parts. Now, to me at least, the only gray area with this is where the hips will start and stop. Because bikini area or underwear area can mean different things for different people. I might say the shape of this coverage. Some might think that. I think Twitch honestly just needs to come out with an official visual to stop the speculation. But this is what it is, and it has been for quite some time. And if it's been like that, what's everyone upset about? Well, some people had a different idea in mind about coverage, but what I saw mainly was the line about hips and this extra section. Below the standard guidelines are additional exceptions, and in it specifically calls out Vtubers in 3 different ways. 1, the attire policy applies to Vtubers as if we are IRL, and 2, specifically stating that Vtuber hips have gone uncovered and need to be covered. Finally, that these guidelines apply to Vtuber models, but not video game characters, including those uploaded into games such as VR chat? This makes no sense to me. Many Vtubers, when they decide to go 3D, will often make a 3D version of their existing 2D model, and therefore being 3D somehow now negates this regulation? Like, if anything, you can trust a 2D model not to make obscene gestures if it hasn't been rigged to do so. 3D, on the other hand, has, well, more underboob to see because it's now 3-dimensional. If anyone knows why VR chat specifically has an exemption, please let me know. Because how is an outfit more scandalous as a JPEG than a 3D model? Regardless, it is interesting that Twitch calls out hip coverage is often forgotten. This means that they are aware that they were enforcing based on this, but hadn't plainly stated it before. Which brings me to my next point, sharing some recent bans and going over the why possibilities. Because although we can speculate, Twitch is the only one with the ban power, and their ban notifications are notorious for being incredibly vague. A recent and well-known example of an attire violation was Megalodon VT, Shark Vtuber. Megalodon was debuting her new 2.0 model and had been suspended. The notice she received stating that it was for inappropriate attire specifically. For reference, here's her 2.0 design. She did a section of her stream in the bikini version, picture the model without the white drapings, with a lagoon type of background. Having gone over those guidelines, my interpretation as to why she got banned was that the strap for the bikini was too thin, exposing the hip, and on the other side we can see it just barely through the sheer fabric. That, as well as, and disclaimer, I'm not a viewer of hers, but I did see a teaser on the model's chest area rigging on Twitter, which also exposes underboob that I won't risk sharing on YouTube. Again, this isn't confirmed exactly as to what caused it, but it is an example. Which, as a follow-up, she did work with our artist to widen the bikini strap and mitigate any future suspensions. Mistakes and misunderstandings can happen, so if you are someone who misinterpreted the guidelines but are unable to fix or cannot afford a fix, here are 3 easy and free ways to not risk it. 1. Color change. You can use the Art Mesh color tool to color in those sheer areas. It isn't perfect and you risk losing line definition, but it is a possibility. 2. Item asset. VTube Studio comes with these covering blankets, or you could look online for free or low-cost assets to put in front of you. Depends on the area of concern. 3. Although not the most ideal, if the issue is in the hip area, you can make sure to have your VTuber framed to not show that area. Most of the time, people don't even see the end of my skirt unless I do a specific outfit check. Finally, there is a big glaring difference that I haven't called out yet when it comes to attire, and I don't just mean live 2D models versus VR chat models. Often when this conversation comes up, I inevitably hear, what about this IRL streamer? Or this one? Or this one? The answer is, what about them? Most of the examples I see, it all boils down to the inconsistency in suspensions and bans that Twitch gives. Yes, the IRL streamer is showing underboob, thin bikini straps, and is obviously trying to dodge bans by having a kiddie pool prop in an empty room. It's still up to Twitch to take action. And yeah, it sucks. VTubers can't change clothes and fix it right then and there. We require art and rigging that can be pricey. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. What we can do is make sure we read the guidelines and build off possible attire violations, sharing that knowledge. Everyone may have different perspective of what is considered scandalous. It used to be ankles, now it's underboob. And Twitch moderation team or AI will inevitably make mistakes. The best we can do is learn from what we do know and share the rule interpretations with others. I'm waiting for the day that Twitch just finally decides to make a diagram to clear up exactly what they mean, but, well, being honest, it's not like certain streamers skirting the rules aren't bringing Bezos a pretty penny. But that's all for today. If you found this video informative and helpful, please leave a like and comment down below any questions, comments, or if you got them concerns, and I'll see you later. Bye for now. Mwah.